Good afternoon, everybody. Kevin Wallenfang here from the Department of Natural Resources Big Game Program, coming at you live again to give you one final kind of a push to get involved in the elk reintroduction project and to apply for an elk tag. I know it's about 95 degrees out today and awfully hot and kind of hard to think about the fall hunting seasons, but it's going to be October before you know it, and we will be embarking on our first ever managed elk hunt right here in the state of Wisconsin. So wanted to jump back on with you here this afternoon and just kind of give you a little bit of a reminder to get that application fee in and your application so you're in that drawing. So we're going to show you a few slides here and kind of walk you through a handful of things and kind of remind you of where we've been and where we're going down the road. So only 2 days to go. Come this Thursday at midnight, the application period is going to be over, and you will have missed your opportunity if you are not in the drawing. So get your application fee and your application all filled out online in by this Thursday at midnight, and you will be in the drawing. It's a $10 application fee, and we'll talk about where that money goes here in just a few minutes, but pretty inexpensive opportunity. And we've got the drawing results are going to be occurring here in early June. We're going to do the drawing fairly quickly after the May 31st deadline, and if you are one of those lucky folks that actually draws the tag, you're going to be getting a phone call from us to let you know that. So we will be contacting you personally if you are one of the lucky few. 4 tags will be awarded. As we've talked about before, there are 4 tags going to state hunters. And one of those, in addition to that, is going to be issued through the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation. They are doing their own separate drawing on 1 tag. Same fee, $10 application fee or a $10 raffle ticket fee to get in on that. And they're going to draw the winner of that in late August. But for both of these situations, both the application as well as the raffle, the tag will be issued only to a Wisconsin resident, and we'll talk about the some conditions of that here as well in a couple of minutes. A few details about the season itself. We've covered some of this before, but just a reminder so that when you're applying you can kind of fit it into your plans for the fall, just in case you are one of the lucky few. But the season will open in mid-October, run through mid-November, and then if you are unlucky in that first season, there will be a second opportunity in December to go out there and try to fill that tag again. The season is for bull elk only, so no cows or calves will be allowed to be taken during this hunt. A bull elk is defined as an elk with an antler at least 6 inches long. As you saw from that very first slide, we've got some very big elk out there in Wisconsin, some nice big animals, a lot of mature animals. As we talked about before, you know, the elk reintroduction started back in 1995, and we actually have 1 animal out there that is an original elk that came in from the state of Michigan when we did the first elk reintroduction. So we've got some fairly old and mature animals out there, good mix of age class, but we do have some very big animals. This hunt is going to take place in the Clam Lake range only, so only animals that were part of the first 1995 reintroduction will be part of this hunt, and their offspring, so the population has continued to grow over the years. 25 elk were originally brought into the state, gifted to us from Michigan, and so those are the animals that are part of this hunt. So animals that came from Kentucky here in the last few years are off limits during this hunt. The animals that were released down in Jackson County is not part of the hunt. It will occur only up in the Clam Lake elk range. I said that there are a couple of conditions regarding the tag. So there still are Wisconsin residents. The tag will go to residents, but there is an opportunity to transfer a tag. So if you might not be interested in going yourself, but you have a son or a daughter or a niece and nephew or the child of a friend, you could still apply for the tag, and if you draw that tag, you could transfer it to a youth, or you could also transfer it to somebody that is a qualified disabled person within the state of Wisconsin as well. As I mentioned, the application fee is only $10, and all you have to do is go on your GoWild account. We're going to show you the details of that here in just a second, but very, very simple. I think I told you in the last live Facebook that we did. I went on the night that it became available, and I made my application within less than a minute. So it's very, very quick and easy to do. As we mentioned, it's Wisconsin residents only. One of the conditions of that, though, is that non-residents, folks that have served in the military, Purple Heart, they may apply as a non-resident. There are certain military personnel that do qualify, even as a non-resident. They can apply, and we have had a few of those so far. So there is one possibility there if you are part of the armed forces. And then a common question that we've gotten is, what is the actual fee? A lot of people think that this is going to be, several $1,000s if they actually draw the tag, and that is just not the case. It's a pretty minimal fee of $49 to actually pay for your license if you're drawn. The details of how to go about it, as I said, you just jump onto your GoWild account. It's very, very simple. Just like you're applying for a bear tag or a turkey tag, you're just going to go on to the buy permit applications. And then you're going to just go down, scroll through the list until you find the 2018 elk application. Click on that. It's going to ask you just a couple of things to fill out, and boom, you're done. Like I said, it takes about a minute to do. Add it to your cart, pay your fee, boom. Some common questions. We thought we'd just take a few minutes to answer a few of the common questions that we've gotten over the last several weeks here as the application process was underway. And when we first announced that the hunt was going to take place back in August, is this a sustainable long-term kind of a hunt? Well, if you know a little bit about the history and where we've been and where we've come, the population has grown over the years. And we had a minimum number of at least 200 animals in the overall population before we would hold a hunt, pretty much for that reason in itself. We want this to be an annual thing, so we allowed that population to grow to a point where we would be able to allow this on an annual basis. We're going to, of course, we're starting out fairly small, and that is going to hopefully build over the years. So that's kind of the next question here is, will there be more tags in the future? The Clam Lake herd in itself, we have a long-term population goal of 1,400 elk in that herd. And as that population grows, there's going to be more opportunity for more tags for bulls. Eventually, there will be cow hunts available, cow tags and things like that. Actually, there's also an opportunity down the road that non-residents will be able to apply. So as the population grows, we anticipate that we're going to see more and more opportunity out there. And someday, we anticipate that we're going to have a hunt down in Jackson County as well. What's the application fee used for? This has been a fairly common question. Like we said, it's only a $10 application fee, but that money is earmarked for very specific use within Wisconsin. The money has to be used for elk research and elk management purposes, so it doesn't get absorbed by other programs. Basically, if you apply for the elk for an elk permit, your fee kind of makes a donation, makes a contribution to the overall elk management program of Wisconsin. And the same thing goes for that Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation tag. It's a $10 application fee, and we have an agreement with the Elk Foundation that money will come back to Wisconsin for elk management and elk research purposes. What if I draw a tag? Where am I going to hunt? Well, this has been a pretty common question, and a lot of people that have never been up to the Clam Lake area itself are not aware that about 70% of that total area is owned by timber companies. It's owned by national forests. There's a lot of public land out there. Like I said, about 70% of the total area is public land. So there's lots of places to hunt, lots of places to stay. If you need, like I said, there's campgrounds, there's hotels, there's resorts, there's restaurants in the area. It's a pretty remote area. It's well outside the bigger tourist towns, if you want to call it that, but plenty of places to stay. Offering you a great opportunity to get up there, and and if you don't draw a tag, there's still opportunities to go up there in the fall, listen to the elk bugling, more of the tourism side of things, just watchable wildlife. Elk are a great one to go out and listen to and to look for. So in wrapping up here, again, we just want to say, first of all, I want to say thanks to all of you folks that have already applied. We're glad that you're in. We're glad that you're excited about it. And hopefully you'll be one of those lucky folks that we are making a phone call to here in the next couple of weeks to let you know that that you won one of those coveted tags. But of course, we also want to thank the many, many partners who have been a big part of reintroducing elk to Wisconsin, and this hunt would not be taking place without their great support. And as you can see, there are many of them, and also many that we are not able to list here. So we thank them very, very much. And with that, where can you get more information about the hunt itself and about elk reintroduction and elk management in Wisconsin? There's lots of resources out there. We're going to be doing some more social media type stuff as the hunt gets closer and as the hunt occurs. So we're going to keep you posted on that. There's frequently asked questions and a lot of additional information, videos, photographs, elk research results, all sorts of stuff on the department website for you to go out there and learn more about elk and elk management here in Wisconsin. So with that, we're going to wrap things up, but I just want to say thanks again to all of you who have put in for a tag. Thank you in advance to those of you who intend to, and I wish you all the very best of luck, and thanks for making this all possible.